Is it me, or is overacting on Heroes just as bad as watching a Dave Baker review where no one speaks to you but speaks to the entire world with an upward inflection? It's a show about superheroes? Don't worry, you probably only got half of the joke, and that's okay. Because most likely you're only watching one half of that joke, which is Dave Baker, and definitely not watching Heroes. No one's watching Heroes. Moving on to things that are about heroes. Supergirl. One of the biggest plots in this episode was actually Supergirl dealing with being fired for not admitting that she's Supergirl. I don't know about you guys, but how would that really work out and be legitimized in the real world? She's sitting there in the unemployment office, and you have to have that interview, and they're asking you, so, why did you get fired? I didn't admit that I was Supergirl. Seriously, if I'm the person sitting there in the interview and you tell me that, I'm looking around like, come on, Raul! This isn't funny anymore. Why are you bringing these people in? I wouldn't be okay with it. But then again, I wouldn't be okay with a lot of stuff. What I am okay with is this show. This is Comics on TV. I'm Daniel Jerome. Enjoy the show. Cue my music. Welcome to Comics on TV, which is where we have a weekly discussion concerning what else but comics on TV. You guys have seen Batman, which is converted into Gotham. You've seen The Flash, which is still The Flash. And you've seen Supergirl, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and anything else. We get to have a free-for-all and discuss all those shows right here on Comics on TV. And thank God for my first inaugural show, I get to have amazing guests. My first guest is Kelly. Now, you may recognize Kelly if you've ever watched anything concerning that hashtag show. Because
anything.
Kelly, yeah, anything, doesn't matter. Kelly, you've been our anime guide.
Yes, I have.
And also our gamer.
Yes.
Right? And
Love them both.
do you have a favorite game right now, or maybe a favorite anime?
Skyrim is like it's close to me.
Okay, all right.
Are they gonna do a manga for Skyrim? I think they should.
They
They
should
should
combine
do a
my
manga.
two loves
Yeah,
into one.
we'll just have a whole.
People
we'll
don't
have a
even know
whole-
who
Right?
you are. You're just like some weird guy that
I-
just shows up here.
That's
It's
what
like,
I do.
Get out of
I'm a
my
weird
show.
guy. I'm sorry.
It's like, get out of my
There we go.
No, and also Isaac, the one and only Isaac Pierce. Isaac, you may have recognized from, many of our Doctor Who reviews. He is our resident Doctor Who.
He is our Doctor Who.
Yeah, he is. You are our Doctor. Well, he's our Whovian.
It's
He's our Whovian. Exactly. And then also, you may recognize Isaac's voice from This Week in Geek History, which is a great series that I'm digging right now.
I'm excited. I'm excited that I'm not getting over a cold for anyone. This is behind the scenes. Week 1,
I was there for
cold.
that.
It was terrible.
Your
it was
voice
absolutely.
was slowly like.
But
Yeah,
it was
going
fading.
away.
It was fading. But you know what? It's gonna be like this whole history thing where we're gonna this week, next year,
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about how the horrible first week. That'll be like our.
That will actually
That
be
was
it.
the
It's
Geek
in
Week
there.
in history.
It was the geek in history.
What, have you learned anything interesting concerning geek history
Oh,
that you
it's
didn't know before?
there's a lot of cool stuff. One neat thing about the show with This Week in Geek History, which a lot of the shows that we're getting inaugural for this new year, is that we're all coming together and pulling a lot of information and that stuff that you may have already known, but you didn't know a detail about it. So now you're like an elitist geek, not just a regular one. You know? I don't know.
Well, I happen to know who that was. You don't know
This
anything.
one tiny little detail, That's,
Right.
but it's fantastic, and people are gonna love it. I'm gonna just say off the bat, I'm actually super excited about this, but I'm totally Marvel. So I'm just saying,
really?
I'm going all Marvel. I really
He's gonna be the skeptic.
I'm gonna be the
Yeah?
skeptic on the
He's
DC
gonna be the
universe.
skeptic.
I love the DC universe. I just
Okay.
don't like it in cinema.
Well, see, since you start off with DC Universe, let's talk about it. This week, there was Supergirl. And since Supergirl did happen this week, and there wasn't too much that happened except for really what happened at the end, how do you feel about it? I want to know from the Marvel man, anti-DC, super skeptic.
Like I'm saying, there are some really powerful characters in the DC universe,
Okay.
and there are some really great characters. I think they characterized her very well, Supergirl very well. But I just think that they missed the mark on on building a whole entourage and a collaboration with the other characters. They just fall short.
Well, I mean, it's taking a little bit of time as far as to get there with it. I mean, they're still trying to build this whole entire universe that's going to run on just her at the moment. So it's taking some time, in my opinion. But there are a lot of flaws. I know with the season. I know you had some that you were like, I wasn't too crazy about.
There's a few. I mean, first of all, gotta be honest. I think that they could have given her a better script. They could have worked on that. I mean, she is a female superhero. I'm
Right.
rooting for her,
yeah.
and I will watch the show.
Oh yeah, he for she hashtag. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, he for she.
Yeah.
Hashtag he for she.
Yeah,
I
totally,
want that
totally.
like written right there.
Yeah,
like,
right
hashtag
there,
he
you
for
know.
she.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, but
But
still.
her dialogue was bad.
It's, you know, they're really trying to make it family friendly, and I
Yeah.
think when you take like something that's got a lot of action and a lot of fighting, and you make it family friendly, kind of takes away from the realism. They're not gonna actually act like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's for me. It's kind of interesting because it's the same producers from The Flash, right? And they
I
just
love
have
The
to be
Flash.
exactly.
And his
Love it.
dialogue is great.
Flash is great.
So, but it's not the same writing team.
That's
And that's
true.
where we fall into that
That's
difference
true.
of what they're doing and what they're choosing to take as their own. That's where it becomes different for me because it is kind of like the combination becomes where they're like, we know our material on The Flash, but it sounds or feels like to me on Supergirl, they don't. They're taking things, they're putting other characters in together and making like a horrible hodgepodge of stuff.
Well, with that, there's a lot of counter information in the comics themselves. I mean, you
Yes.
have Supergirl, and you
Yeah.
have so many different variations, which is a DC problem on its own. Which is why I really like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Is very
Right.
clean. It's very, it's very cut and paste. I know I'm following the toe.
Okay,
I get
okay,
it.
okay.
Hail Hydra. I get it. But there is this where it falls short is that they should stick with one and go with it. If they want to do that storyline, they should stick with that storyline. I mean, there's they don't need to condescend to their audiences. I mean, one of the
Okay.
greatest things that they could have done, what they've done in a lot of Marvel shows that you see, like Jessica Jones or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., is you'll get these little icons that you drop, and you drop a hint, and you'll say something. I mean, the greatest thing they could have done with the introduction of Martian Manhunter is just throw an Oreo somewhere.
Oh, okay. Well, no. Okay, now see right there. They're what are they usually called? What does he actually call them?
The Chacos.
The Chacos, right?
Yeah, the Chacos.
Okay.
Just toss some cookies on the table, and people will be like, "I know what's happening." And
Every
it's like,
shot
it's
that
not-
he's in, he better be eating one.
I want to know what
It's
Chacos.
like-
Everyone.
It's
But
like
I
on
mean,
Fight
like,
Club
talking,
in
and
every
he's like eating
frame.
the chacos.
Well, as like a
Bro.
trope, there's symbols that represent each character. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, that's definitely understandable, and that's something that people would love to see. But for those that don't know, could you explain exactly what's happening? Why you even suggested them to have Chacos in every shot?
So Martian Manhunter's been introduced to this. I guess it's Martian Manhunter, or not, maybe, or
He's using the name. He says he's
using the
John
name.
Jones.
Yeah, he's John Jones. But yeah,
But he's also Hank Henshaw.
which is not Martian.
It's not Martian. That's Cyborg Superman.
Right.
And that's what makes it so confusing to me. It feels like they don't know what they were trying to do, and they were just like, let's run with it and have that happen.
See where
But-
the audience wants it to go. Which movies shouldn't be choose your own adventures.
That's very true. That's very true. That's very
I'm
true.
sorry, I'm dating
For-
myself, but yeah.
A series shouldn't be. A series definitely shouldn't be. It should be they're already set up. They usually have
Right.
like a series Bible that they're going to run with
Yeah.
and how they're going to figure it
And
out.
Gotham did a great job at that.
Yeah,
You could
I
see
love
them. You could see them setting the stage.
They really make it their own.
Yeah, you can see them setting the
Definitely
stage right
they
from the
do.
Yeah.
get go, and then they go and they pull in the different characters and everything like that. And it's there's that connection. But
That's true. That's true because
Yeah.
what they're doing as far as with Penguin and everything like that, it's like you can see they're like, well, we're building our own mythos,
Right.
and with it, it's going to be something that's established and still feels like it's real.
and they're unapologetic. You know what I mean?
That's
true.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But speaking of unapologetic, let's kind of shift into Heroes. Because that's a show that
I'm
truly
gonna
is.
go.
No, come on, no. I need you to suffer with me through this.
All right.
Heroes is definitely a show that's unapologetic.
You got this one, Kelly.
Yeah, there's not much to say about Heroes other than it's kind of like the superhero thing Superman thing where they're gonna write into the story whatever they need to add more plot.
Oh yeah.
Well-
They're just gonna change this and that and be like, oh, this guy has the power to change this plot, and we're like, great, works for this.
He's my. Is it Dave's Machina or? how
Yeah,
is
the
it?
Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah,
Which
that's what you got.
and everyone's gonna look at me and go, "You're a Whovian. It's like
Oh,
the
yeah,
Doctor Who
well.
is the king of and you know what though? They do it, but they'll do one of two things. They will be very tongue in cheek about it,
Right.
And they will make it fit into some kind of overarching thing. Or the second thing that they do is they do it, but then it does cause trouble. With Heroes. they do these crazy things, and it's like, it's cool. We're wrapped up, we're clean, everything's fine at the end of the day. You know, it's, you know.
The biggest way to feel that right now, especially concerning Heroes, is the giant overlooming plot that's happening where it's, hey, there are solar flares that are coming. And from what I remember and what was said, they said the first solar flare would take out the U.S. And then after that, the second solar flare would take out the world. Then I think they have it where this one kid is going to essentially phase all these people that are wearing eye watches or whatever, and they're going to phase them into the future, like 60,000 years into the future. And by sending them out 60,000 years into the future, they're safe from the solar flares. Now, I don't know the whole thing and how that works out. I mean, is it the radiation that's going to kill everyone, or is it the solar flares themselves that are going to destroy things? How is everything going to be fine in the future? Who are these people that are getting to build this future that they're sending these people to?
Maybe this solar flare is like a superpower on its own, where like all these like, you know, little side things like the radiation and whatnot don't exist because it's its own special little power, where it's just going to be like, oh, we're just going to wipe out all the people, but everything else is fine.
I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I was thinking
it's
at
a
first.
metaphor. The solar flare is a metaphor.
Well, for what? Thank you. You just pulled a Dave Baker right there.
It's a metaphor?
You don't know what it is. You're just going to say, I don't know, and that's it. And that's exactly what's happening with Heroes. No one knows. I think the writing team has no idea what's happening. They were just sitting there like, all right, one night on a bender, let's go ahead and type something, and that's what happened. Because there's nothing happening.
Then what we're looking at is then the same dilemma with the writing people waiting for their fans to come up with the rest of the story.
But it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like the first time Heroes went on. I remember for me it was, hey, season 1 was great.
Yes.
Season 2 was watchable. Season 3, you were like, oh, is it on? I didn't know. And season 4, you were like, why is it still on? You were upset by that point. And it feels like they're doing that with the show right now. They had the first portion of the show where it was like, all right, we're going to set up origin, tell you what's happening. And that's where people were like, okay, I'll give it a chance. Then they had their hiatus. And then they came back. And then when they came back, people were just upset that the show was still on because it's that bad. Yeah. And that's kind of like taking away from the fans, the people that are like, okay, the true diehard like hero fans, which I don't know if that's a thing, but the hero fans that are like, hey, I love it. Yeah, 2 people. Yeah. I know one. And then they're just
people
ready
who
to
still
see
have
it.
N-gauges.
Oh God! Come on, serious?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. But Heroes could do a better job. Like for example, I'll just even throw it out there. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I feel is pretty good. Now, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had a spinoff, which is Carter.
Yeah.
Carter.
That show was
amazing.
amazing.
Was amazing.
That
It
show
has
was
a
amazing.
powerful female lead.
Yes.
Exactly.
A very powerful female lead and a very well-written powerful female
And that's
lead.
the thing. It's not always like who's cast as the female superhero character. It's usually the script that's behind it that I feel needs work.
That's the thing.
And it's not just like, oh, girl superheroes suck, so they can never have their own show. It's like you need to give them good material to work with.
Right.
Exactly.
Power is not power. Power is a metaphor.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. No, but that's true. That's exactly how you feel about it. In most of the ways going through, but I don't understand why we can't really put that together. When I say we, I mean America. Because, I mean, there are animes that have strong female characters that still actually do something. I know you love Sailor Moon.
I do. I love Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
And how great is that? And just looking at that compared to what we still do see here.
Yeah.
Some of these things is just they're flaws. They just fall apart. Too many plot holes. Why can't we just put something together? That's my question. And that's what drives me insane. But
well, I really do want to like Heroes because I was such a fan of that first season of that first series that came out, and I like the idea of it, but they just keep writing themselves into a circle where we're changing everything that's already happened. You're like, well, I feel like I just wasted all my time watching all of this, and then you change the past.
You retcon it every time you can.
Do you think that they're using the time travel though, just to go back to season 1 and?
I know they just
and
want to
to
go all the way
to
back.
celebrate.
Like that's where all our fans were.
Like the time travel thing is more of a fourth wall kind of element.
Yeah.
Like let's get back to when we were good.
It's so hard to invest so much time into the show and put all your energy and admiration into it for them to be like, all right, all of that's gone now, and now we have this over here, and this is what you guys are gonna like and watch. And it's just like, but I liked all those things that happened. Just like,
Well, what I noticed too, especially with Heroes, is they were using elements from shows that still are popular and have had elements in them. Same with Supergirl, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, the supernatural wake up.
There it is.
There it is.
There
You know,
it is.
and the with Heroes, they had the whole Doctor Who bang on the wall, break open kind of thing.
Yeah, that's right.
With the whole
That's
thing with
right.
the time travel thing was
That's
kind of
true.
the whole hey,
Yeah.
new universe, new idea, and let's move
Yeah.
on to the new home, new hope kind of thing.
That's the issue that's
You know.
happening. I think that's where we found both problems that everything is for both of those shows right now at the moment. They haven't found their niche. They have
Their
to
voice,
know
yeah.
their voice.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Once they do, I feel that the show will flesh out and become a whole lot better. I don't think that's going to happen for Heroes because they're like promoting the epic finale because it was a miniseries and that's what it's going to be. They knew it was going to be bad. That's what I feel, and that's why they weren't going to. Hey, let's try to renew it and bring life back into it. It's over after this, and that's it. Thank God for that.
Heroes.
But
I
with
think Supergirl has hope though.
Supergirl, I am looking
Yes.
forward to it, and I need that crossover for
It's-
her and the Flash.
it has been getting better over time, even. Because at first, when I watched maybe like the first 2 or 3 episodes, I'm like, oh man, they missed the mark with this one. It's like it wasn't. But
True.
as you stick with it, because I really want to like it. It's been getting better. I think it's been doing a lot better, and they've been fixing it with the storyline. I'm also a Martian Manhunter fan, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's great. But with the whole totally blanking on his name.
Hank
Henshaw.
Henshaw.
Thank you.
It
Hank
becomes,
Henshaw.
If
It's
they
just-
they could explain it.
They could.
They could.
They could. And they, and they're not going to be like, oh, just kidding. We changed this and make it that. Like, I like
Well,
that. They're,
that's the
They're
thing.
going to put something out and they're going to stick with it.
But that's the thing. It's like just sitting here, we have so many ideas on what could happen and what could be great about it.
Yeah.
But trying to get those ideas to actually happen on the show that's where the transition is falling apart. And since they're waiting for fans, I wanted to know what the actual fans are thinking anyway. I would love to know anyone that is watching the show. If you guys could probably tell us what do you think is going to happen and what should happen, that would be great for us to know, and I would love to read them. Would you guys?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Then, we should do right now. We should just sign off
Yeah.
and let everyone go ahead and type it up.
Yep.
So, comment below. Let us know what you guys think, and tune in next week for another Comics on TV. I want to thank Isaac for showing up here today. I appreciate it. And I want to thank Kelly as well. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.